Welcome to Bridget's most favorite episode that's ever going to happen of podcast recording.
I am so scared, which I think I've started at least 3 episodes that way.
This was the one I had circled where I knew.
Yeah, this was going to be a toughie. I can tell by the outline and what's on the table in front of us.
This one's all about bourbon. Not just whiskey, bourbon.
I was already going to ask my first question, but I'll just wait. I imagine we're going to get into it.
Rum, there was some skepticism there.
What?
But you at least had fond Jimmy Buffett memories.
Well, and rum cocktails I can do.
Yeah.
Rum, like just rum in a glass. No, thank you.
The challenge for me on this one, and everybody knows I love a challenge, was how can I make this fun for Bridget? And here's how we're going to do it. And not disgusting, but also just a little disgusting.
It's all about me here, guys, not actually educating you.
So, the first is a delicious bourbon cocktail.
Yeah, this looks lovely.
This is a blueberry whiskey lemonade.
Okay, it sounds good, but I know exactly what it's going to taste like. It's in a cute little mason jar, like a summer shake-up drink. Ugh. This is the problem. I always smell things, and like the smell of whiskey or bourbon makes me viscerally gag.
Oh, just wait. It's going to get better.
Okay. Yeah, this is drinkable.
Man, we are killing it to start.
I think people would love this. People that are not me. I like it.
Yes.
Yes, the bar is low already. But hey, this is much better than making me drink it on the rocks, which I feel like we're going to be doing
That might
soon.
be coming. Not might. That will be coming. But it's going to be a fun trivia game, which I know is also your other favorite
gosh,
thing.
wow. I'm
Tests.
just sweating it out over here already, 3 minutes in.
So, bourbon, it is America's spirit. It is what everybody loves. We'll get to when it was declared America's spirit, because it has in fact been declared as such by a concurrent resolution of Congress.
Stop. What a waste of time.
So let's define bourbon. It is not just any old whiskey, just like champagne is not any old sparkling wine.
Okay.
It is a distilled spirit made in the United States of America.
Okay.
Not
Bourbon.
the United States of Mexico, the United States of America.
Thank you for stating that thoroughly and accurately.
It must be made from at least 51% corn.
Okay. 51. Okay, majority.
It must age in brand new charred oak containers.
Not used ones?
Not used ones, brand new. First use.
What is it if something is aged in a used barrel? What is it?
That's just American whiskey.
Oh, okay. I hear you.
It has to be distilled to a maximum of 160 proof. That is
gross.
80% alcohol by volume.
That's why it makes me want to gag.
It has to go into the barrel at a maximum of 125 proof. So you distill it and then you add your water.
Okay.
And bottled at a minimum of 80% proof. So you can't find bourbon that's less than 40% alcohol by volume.
Oof. Okay.
There's no added coloring. There's no added flavor. And there are no additives other than the water you use to cut it back down to your desired proof.
That makes sense.
That is bourbon.
So,
end of podcast.
Okay, bye. Bullet points that you can find in the show notes. So bourbon, those are all the differences between whiskey and bourbon. Okay, this is what I'm going to make it 50% corn and it's whiskey.
It's no longer bourbon.
That's
it is American whiskey.
Wow. Do you think that it really tastes different?
I mean, the corn does taste different. More corn tastes more sweeter. The char oak, people debate about if it's the grain bill or the oak that gives American whiskey its flavor. And the honest answer probably is the charred oak has the most to do with it because it gives it that sweetness and the rich vanilla flavors that even in this lemonade, like you can get that off.
The charred oak barrel?
Yep, the charred oak barrel.
If you used an old barrel, you think that it wouldn't have as strong.
It's like Chardonnay, where you have a new out Chardonnay that you have that super oaky flavor.
Okay.
And a second or third use one, you don't get as much.
Speaking my language. Just compare it all to wine.
We already did our rum episode, and rum was the original spirit of the Americas. And eventually whiskey would take over. So let's hit some quick notes. Transition ourselves from rum, which I adore.
It's better than this.
To whiskey. There was, as we discussed in our boom and bust portions of rum, there was a huge economic reason that whiskey took over after the Revolution. The molasses trade was ruined. We had just gone to war with the people that traded the molasses. There was grain growing here. It was ruined. But also, whiskey was American.
Because why?
Because we grew it here, and it's the American spirit.
Okay.
Rum, that was British.
Yeah, okay.
That was British. And as a new nation, are you a patriot?
Oh,
Do
sorry,
I catch you drinking that British rum, or are you drinking American spirits?
Gin.
Whiskey.
Gin and vodka is what I'm drinking.
Also, very, very British. And this is what is going to make you love this episode, Bridget.
Why?
It's all about marketing.
I was like, listen, this is exactly where I was going with this. Like, this is why whiskey gets this, like, redneck, well, I think whiskey has two very distinct marketing audiences, actually.
I mean, you got your Phil Johnsons of the world that are just out here chasing bottles.
Yeah. You've got people, truly, that are just, like, looking for these rare,
Shout out
crazy...
Foremost Electric. Awesome place if you're in Lake Geneva area looking for some electricians.
Great people. Yeah, you have, like, the people who are paying more for a bottle of whiskey or bourbon? Well, I don't know, whatever. Bottles of things that I don't understand. And then you have, like, I don't know, what's a very, like a rail level?
You got your Jim Beam.
What, is Jim Beam what it is?
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, isn't there a wild turkey?
Ooh, I almost pulled. We do have some. No, we don't have wild turkey. I did almost pull some wild turkey.
Am I wrong? I don't want to like talk trash
wrong.
about a brand.
You're not wrong.
Okay, I was like, isn't wild turkey like what me maybe drank in college?
Wild
Not
turkey
me.
does up and down the spectrum.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Great job, wild turkey.
So, calling itself American was the first great marketing triumph of whiskey, and it is what has made bourbon, specifically the American whiskey choice, the American spirit of choice. And we're not going to do like whiskey tasting nerds. We're going to talk about whiskey marketing, a few key things that happened, a few fun stories, and how that bourbon became America's spirit of choice. This episode relies heavily on the writings of Michael Veitch, I'm pretty sure it's Veitch. The historian at the Filson Historical Society in Louisville. He's in the Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Fame. That is the thing. And he literally wrote the book on the history of bourbon. And a direct quote from him is that the biggest problem, I'll put parentheses or brackets here, in trying to determine the history of, the biggest problem is that so much of the history of bourbon has come out of the marketing department.
That's not a problem.
So as we try to figure out how bourbon became the American thing, a lot of it's marketing.
But also, like, who paid him to write a book on the history of bourbon?
All the bourbon nerds.
I guess, like, bourbon companies. I always think about, like,
maybe
who
the Bourbon Institute.
Yeah, like, well, I guess that's true. There's some association for everything. But that's, as you reference all these books that are, that you are reading and summarizing in these episodes, I'm like, who paid this person to write a book on this?
I was browsing the library shelves last night. I'm like, man, there's so many interesting books. But, like, who took the time to write this?
And then who paid that person to write it? Or
We're
publish
so
it,
lucky
rather.
there are so many academics that don't really feel the need to work for very much money.
Yeah, I guess I should maybe try writing a book and then I might think differently.
Have you heard of the Whiskey Rebellions?
Sure.
So, the first great crisis of the federal government in America was the Whiskey Rebellions in 1791, March. Alexander Hamilton, he puts excise tax on distilled spirits to pay down the war debt, massive debt, getting out of our situationship with Great Britain. It was the first internal tax that the federal government had ever put on. Of course, there were tariffs and such, a fact that gets bandied around a lot these days. And there were two ways to pay this excise. One, you could pay a flat fee on your still or a per gallon rate. The biggest distillers were on the East Coast, and they ran year-round, so the flat fee was pretty good, right? Because, lots of output.
Yep.
But all these small frontier farmers in the western parts of Pennsylvania, starting to get into Kentucky, the western parts of Virginia, they distilled seasonally, and they had to do the per gallon rate. And it worked out to the small distillers were paying about twice per gallon what the larger producers paid because they got stuck on that per gallon. So in 1794, the farmers in western Pennsylvania rose up. They rebelled. They rejected the federal government, and President George Washington himself had to lead a militia army out and enforce the law. Think about that.
About whiskey tariffs?
About these people refusing to pay their excise tax on whiskey.
And this is where we started wasting money on government activities.
Only time the president led an army.
Okay.
George Washington. So the first myth about bourbon that was a marketing story that you'll hear comes from this.
comes from the
Because what do
army
you think
attacking
of?
people
Yeah,
to
what
pay
do you
their
think
tariffs?
of when you think of bourbon? Like where geographically?
Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Yeah.
And so people say that the army drove the people from Pennsylvania to Kentucky.
Oh, I mean, is it a myth? It's
It's a myth. There were already people distilling in Kentucky. The migration had already happened. These people didn't move.
So why
It's
do we
a
never
myth.
hear about East Coast bourbon? Or do we? I just don't.
We'll get to that.
Marketing.
Marketing. So it's a great story, right? You know,
Yeah.
the government came and tried to take our stills, so we just kept moving west. We were independent. It's not true.
Then we
It all
landed.
got shut down. Everybody's paying their taxes. There's documentation of the Kentucky folk paying taxes. Pennsylvania folks, they're all paying taxes.
Are they? Good job. Just feels like Robin Hood, actually, is what it reminds me of.
So let's talk about who invented bourbon and how it became known as bourbon and not just American whiskey.
Okay, who made up those crazy rules of corn?
There are lots of claims.
Okay. I don't know a person's name, but can we guess states?
You could guess states.
Okay, well, Kentucky.
Let's start in 1620 in not Kentucky.
Oh, dang.
George Thorpe. He is an
Okay.
English member of Parliament. He moves to a plantation on the outskirts of Jamestown, thereabouts.
Okay.
Falls in love with the New World, becomes a friend of the Wampanoag, the local American Indian tribes. I'm sorry, Powhatan, not the Wampanoag.
Ooh.
I'm thinking the other one, up north. And he starts growing corn as a possible new cash crop.
Okay.
And he thinks this would be good in a distilled fashion. So he makes a drink that's corn mash, and it was distilled. So it's described as a good drink of Indian corn that was sometimes better than strong English beer. So there's some debate among historians if this was strong beer, like fortified beer, or true distilled spirit. But we're going to call it a distilled spirit.
Oh, that's interesting.
This may have, in fact, been the first whiskey from Virginia and even America.
Virginia.
It's really uncertain,
Doesn't sound like it.
and
is.
he's not well known.
Okay.
And that's because he died in a Powhatan attack in 1622.
Ooh.
Because he knew this was coming. He said, well, I think they're good folks and they're my friends and they won't kill me.
Oh, no. But they wanted his distilled spirit.
So we know he was distilling. We know it was a real distilling because his copper still was listed as possessions and sold as an estate sale for 3 pounds of tobacco.
Oh, stop. Do we know where it went? Can we
We don't
trace
know
the
where
lineage?
we don't have that trace.
Dang, that'd be cool.
It would be.
Okay.
People continued distilling whiskey. And now we get to someone you may have heard of, Elijah Craig.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So this is a rather dubious story. I'm just going to say it.
Cool.
It's dubious, but it's kind of a fun story. He's often he's credited with inventing bourbon.
Okay.
Guess who he's credited with inventing bourbon by?
Himself.
The Elijah Craig Distillery.
Yes, I was like himself.
So Elijah Craig was a real person who was a Baptist minister born in 1738. Eventually he would move to Kentucky, and he, was a business magnate. He was a man of many talents. He opened schools, mills, lots of different things. Paper mills, lumber mills, all. If you could mill it, he milled it.
He milled it.
In 1789, give or take, he opened a distillery
Yay.
in Kentucky, and he starts making whiskey, and now it's bourbon.
Wait, he just called it bourbon.
We now have bourbon.
Because he started using 51% corn? Or?
That's the story, but it's not true.
Okay,
It is not true. All the evidence we have was that, first of all, he was making the same type of whiskey as everyone else, which was rye forward.
Okay.
The Pennsylvania style Monongahela rye
sure.
is what was heavily known at that time.
Okay.
And did you know that there's actually a bourbon county in Kentucky? A legitimate county.
There's always been a bourbon county?
Yep. Well,
Okay.
I mean, not always. It's amalgamated out of many counties, but
it wasn't
1785, there was a bourbon county in Kentucky.
I didn't know that.
He was not even there.
I was just going to say, let me guess. Is that where? Oh, okay. So never mind.
And he wasn't using charred barrels. There's no evidence. It's been attributed to him.
Okay.
The first known publication that said he figured this out happened in 1874.
Mm-hmm.
And do you know why he was giving credit?
No. Because he gave himself credit.
The first known publication that was in 1704, one of the things that really raised him up, well, his nephew was a Kentucky legislator, so it made him look good. And at this point, the whiskey industry was fighting the temperance movement, and they figured if we make a preacher the key figure in this, and a preacher invented it, you temperance people can't say God didn't want this.
Oh, stop. Okay, that is good marketing.
So Elijah Craig widely credited as the man that first distilled what we now know as bourbon. Definitely, I shouldn't say definitely. In the overwhelming preponderance of evidence, not true. Not true.
Made it up himself.
He definitely distilled, but he didn't say this. And, people say this about them. He didn't say it about himself.
So we do think the first dude who made like maybe beer, maybe a distilled spirit was the guy.
I mean, we still haven't gotten to bourbon because you need the 51% corn and the charred oak.
Elijah
and
made it. Oh, no charred oak.
He had no charred oak.
But there were no
probably
rules
not
yet.
Corn. So
okay.
Why is it called bourbon? Lots of stories about this. Bourbon County, Kentucky. A lot of people think it was that. Formed in 1785. It's kind of north-central, northeastern Kentucky. It's named after the House of Bourbon for Louis XVI as a way of saying thanks for help getting us out of this Great Britain situationship.
This Great Britain
also
thing.
Good marketing. And these people here in Bourbon County start making a slightly different whiskey than their neighbors. The neighbors are still making the corn one, including the rye one, including Elijah Craig.
Okay.
And these people start making it mostly from corn. It's a little bit sweeter. People notice it tastes a little different.
Okay.
And as it's getting shipped down the Ohio River, the barrels say bourbon.
Because Bourbon County,
because
right?
It's from
Duh.
Bourbon County.
Oh, oof.
It's not a regulated term. There's no real it's just like, this is a style of those bourbon people.
Oh, I love this story.
So that's probably why it happened.
Yep. Okay.
So that's the first part, the corn. Now the barrel charring.
Yeah, gross.
So you make a barrel and you light the inside of it on fire.
Yeah.
And it chars and that adds flavor.
Okay.
Elijah Craig claims he did this. Okay, so his story is that
but not originally.
His people.
Okay.
The story is that he was thrifty and used barrels that he had previously held salted fish in.
Oh,
to get the fish smell out.
Ew.
He burned them and realized it worked out well.
This is gross.
That's the earliest recorded mention we have of this. And remember, there's letters saved from this time. People wrote much more.
Yeah, how are we ever going to look at our time?
Newspapers were published ever. So the earliest mention in writing we have is a Lexington barrel wholesaler telling a Bourbon County distiller how to do this process in 1826.
Okay.
Saying it gives it a distinct flavor. And this is, if you want that, this is how you do it. So that's definitely not Elijah Craig.
Disgusting. I wonder if there are any records of people saying it tasted fishy.
Our boy, Michael Veach, has a alternative theory to the Bourbon County, Kentucky is why it's called bourbon. And I like this one a lot. It's the Tarascon brothers. Tarascon. So Bourbon County, having its whiskey referred to as bourbon to distinguish it from
the other kind.
And it's, more of a loose terms for those early years. And the first actual printed labels that say bourbon are 1850. It was just kind of Sharpied onto the barrel first.
Okay, you finished. Then I have a question.
And the story first shows up in print in the 1870s.
Okay. Oh, so quite a while.
The story proposed by Veach is that around 1807, these two brothers, John and Louis Tarascon, this is French.
Tarascon.
They're from near Cognac, French, set up a warehouse and a mill at the falls of the Ohio River in Louisville, and they were running trade down to New Orleans.
Okay.
The records that they have show that New Orleans did not want whiskey. They wanted cognac, because that's what they were used to. They're used to their French brandy. So these two brothers bought Kentucky whiskey, put it in charred barrels instead of the plain barrels that whiskey normally aged in, because charred barrels are how cognac is aged, and it made cheap American grain liquor taste closer to expensive French grape brandy.
What a hoax!
They then sold it into the New Orleans Entertainment District, and people started asking for that whiskey that they sell on Bourbon Street.
Oh my God.
Which soon got shortened to bourbon whiskey.
Oh.
It's all marketing.
Oh my God. Okay, because the logical brain in me was wondering, it seems very clear that actually whiskey was made with rye and bourbon was made with corn, if we actually trace back here. So why don't we just have two separate things that are a thing made with rye, which is whiskey, and a thing made with corn, which is bourbon? So we do not differentiate it that way now?
Bourbon is a subset of whiskey.
No, that's insane. They're very clearly two different things.
Well, it's like Chardonnay is a type of white wine, as is Sauvignon Blanc.
It's not, though, if I'm tracing this back. So Elijah Craig made his beverage with rye.
Probably.
That beverage was called whiskey.
Yeah.
Then the Bourbon County people made their beverage with corn, and that beverage was called bourbon. These are two different beverages.
Well, they're both whiskey.
Says
They
who?
just taste different. Well, it's whiskey because whiskey is a spirit that's made from, you start by fermenting grain and then you distill that grain. So it's all whiskey, like Scotch is whiskey, Japanese whiskey is
don't
whiskey.
even get me into Scotch. I don't understand. Okay, so Scotch and bourbon are a type of whiskey.
Correct.
I literally just
As
learned
is rye
that
whiskey, as
right
is Canadian whiskey.
Yeah, but that's easy. Those
Single malt,
end with
Washington.
the word. Sorry, I just hit my microphone. I didn't know that, first of all. I hate all of these liquors. But I did not realize Scotch and bourbon were underneath the whiskey family. I thought whiskey and Scotch were underneath the bourbon family.
Nope.
Okay, great. Light bulb moment. Moving on.
This is all marketing, Bridget.
I know, but also I love
scam. It's American capitalism. It's two guys trying to scam people into thinking that this cheap American product's actually like expensive French stuff.
Yeah, that
charge
was
a
funny.
premium for it.
It worked.
So most people buy it's just a term that started getting used for the styles that were made in Bourbon County with the higher corn.
Okay.
And the charred barrels eventually came around. They weren't really the important part. It just started being used. And then other people, so Mike Veach is the guy that's doing this, and he says, this isn't sure, but I think it's a good story. I think it makes a lot more sense. It's like a couple hucksters being like, like, and there's
story.
actual like very good documented proof of this one.
I wrote that down as if I'm going to do anything with that knowledge again, but I like it.
It's so confusing of like why bourbon is named, like we think of Bourbon Street.
Yes.
And we're like bourbon flavor, and all this is like a very Mardi Gras type of thing.
Yes.
But that's not where.
But it's not at all true.
Kentucky, we think of Kentucky for bourbon.
And really, it was something they were trying to emulate as close to cognac as they could.
Cognac. So now we get into the other great American thing. The government gets into the branding. The people are drinking their whiskey all over. I'm sure you've watched all of the Westerns where, you get your 5-cent shot of whiskey at the bar.
Do you think I've watched all of those?
Nope, I don't. I don't at all. You don't seem like a Western type of girl.
No, I am not.
Some of it's called bourbon, some of it's called whiskey, but by the 1890s, people are having the whiskey. It's getting distilled, again, mostly Kentucky, Tennessee. There's some other places, and it's getting shipped to in barrels to saloons, stores, pharmacies, whoever wanted it. Not usually shipped in glass because that's, hard and a rattling wagon, safer in the barrel.
Yeah. Okay.
So in between, maybe the final customer, because not everybody wanted to go whole barrel, right?
Okay.
There were people called rectifers buying bulk spirit, and they would then blend it, maybe cut it with some water, maybe a little bit of this one, a little bit of that one.
Shiesty.
The good ones were very skilled, like they made it better and they saved people money. The bad ones were stretching their supply with coloring, flavoring, and many accounts from the period describe additives running from just, caramel color to tobacco spit.
Oh,
because that makes it look really brown, as well as turpentine and iodine, which made it taste aged.
Oh my God, they're cutting their Coke early on.
So
this is like bad. Oh, okay, that's gross.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
exactly
the same exact
like.
thing as
It's pretty gross.
club drugs. Oh God. Okay.
Became a public health problem.
Oh, you think turpentine?
And March 3rd, 1897, Grover Cleveland, president of these United States of America, signs the Bottled in Bond Act. It's widely considered the first federal consumer protection law in American history.
Oh, that's interesting.
It beats the Pure Food and Drug Act by more than a decade.
Wow.
And the Bottled in Bond Act basically says the federal government will give you a stamp of approval and let you pay your taxes later if you hit some conditions, and you get this thing that makes it seem like it's safe. So the conditions are this product has to be from one distillery, so you can't be doing the blending.
It. Okay.
Only one distiller, so there's someone that's responsible for this, and it's one distilling season, so you can't do like, I got 3 different years and blend them together.
Yeah.
So 1.
Okay.
It then needs to spend at least 4 years in a federally bonded warehouse under government supervision. So you can't get in and out unless a federal agent lets you in. So no one's tampering with anything.
Because they're all very trustworthy. So
all very trustworthy. It has to be bottled at exactly 100 proof, and nothing can be added but water to bring the proof down.
Okay.
You get a green stamp on the label. If you do that, means you did good quality work. And very importantly, if you don't do bottled in bond, you have to pay your excise taxes when you put it in the barrel. You might not sell that for 4, aged 12 years.
And you've already paid.
And you've already paid your taxes. If you do bottle and bond, you can pay them later.
But there was no regulation on the color?
Well, I mean, the color comes from the barrel.
No, like you can't put turpentine or chewed tobacco.
Nothing added but water.
Nothing added but water. Okay, I didn't know if that was only in relation to the proof level, but I guess that covers everything. So you can't put chewing tobacco spit in here.
This was great, right? You know,
Cool.
people are happy about it, but again, more marketing.
Yeah, for sure.
Have you heard of Colonel E.H. Taylor?
No.
He makes some of the most sought after whiskeys now. He doesn't. He's dead. But
I
people
was
use
like,
his name.
does he?
So all these straight whiskey distillers, they lobbied really, really hard for this, and they turned this federal seal of approval into a marketing thing to just beat their competitors with.
I mean, this reminds me of like when you were getting green certified, you know, when it was like, I don't know, there was some check mark or something. I remember working at a place that worked really hard to get this green certification, and I was like, does this mean anything?
Blending's okay. You know, blending multiple barrels is good.
But not allowed in the...
But not as long as you're adding turpentine.
Well, yeah, hard to differentiate, huh?
One last thing before the break. We know Prohibition existed.
Sure did.
No one could buy alcohol, but there was a carve-out for medicinal whiskey.
Come on.
You could get a pint every 10 days via doctor's prescription.
Oh, God.
It had to be bottled and bond, so they kept that regulation going.
Okay.
There were 10 permits up for grabs, and only 6 companies applied. So they all got one because no one thought this would work. And they didn't get to distill for the first 9 years. But by 1929, the stock was run down. They were allowed to distill. And one of them, it's called Stitzel Distillery, was run by a man named Pappy Van Winkle. Have you heard of Pappy Van Winkle?
Sure.
It's the most sought after bourbon in America probably now.
Pappy Van Winkle.
They were the first people to distill, and when Prohibition ended 4 years later, they had aged inventory ready to sell. Whoa. No one else had it. So they were like, because whiskey takes time to be good. Like it needs to age to mellow out. So they were ready to rock and roll, and that gave them their heads up.
Holy cow, you can get a Pappy Van Winkle bottle at a budget price of $7.64 as the cheapest one I see. Okay, Pappy.
Well done, Pappy. We're going to take a break. Be right back. We're back.
I found more Pappy Van Winkle whiskey for almost $3,000. Bourbon? Whiskey.
Bourbon. Bourbon and whiskey.
Oh, yeah, the bourbon concierge.
I know you like certainty and you like rules.
Oh, yeah.
And in 1935, the official rules for what bourbon was were set so that we could say with certainty if you don't meet those things.
Oh, yes, okay.
So 1935, almost 100 years since the Federal Alcohol Administration said this is what bourbon is, this is what it must be.
Most be?
Must be.
Okay, are you going to quiz me on what it is?
No, we'll get there. We have some games.
I was like, ugh.
Production got canceled for World War II because they needed to make industrial alcohol for things like fueling torpedoes. But after World War II, they're back. Still back. It became a major export product. The Bourbon Institute was established in 1958, to market the bourbon to the people. And one of the things they worked really hard on was reducing trade restrictions so that it wasn't just Scotch that was the whiskey of choice ever, because a long time Scotch was what people drank.
Yep.
They worked to expand bourbon's global reach and make it part of America's cultural legacy. And in 1964, Congress passed a concurrent resolution, which, to be clear, a concurrent resolution isn't a law. It's just the sense of Congress, and we know what Congress has a sense of. But they declared bourbon to be, quote, a distinctive product of the United States, and asked the appropriate agencies of the United States government to take appropriate action to prohibit importation into the United States of whiskey designated as bourbon whiskey. And now it's like champagne. Must be from America.
Kind of like champagne.
Not as good. Not as good, I agree. But
not as good.
These people made, through their marketing genius, bourbon a specifically American thing. All of our trade representatives went out and said, hey, you're not allowed to make bourbon and send it to us, and no one else is going to buy it. So let's just all agree. Okay. Bourbon comes from America.
Good job. I cannot believe how much time is spent regulating alcohol production.
Well, just you wait.
But okay, great.
So there's lots of fun claims and words that people put on bourbon labels, whiskey labels.
Oh, dear.
And we're going to play a game called Bonded or Bunked.
Okay.
So bonded is true. We know the federal government says this is okay.
Okay.
Bunk is, well, I don't want to call it a lie.
Wait, if you're allowed to put this on your label?
All these things are things you're allowed to put on the label.
Okay.
But do they have an actual meaning or not?
Oh my
So
God.
these are all going to be things that show up on all these labels. And later we're going to look at some of these, and you're going to have to pick if this is, which whiskey is which.
Oh my God. What?
So you can put almost anything on a whiskey label. It's not like meat. I can't go put whatever on there. The federal government lets you put all sorts of stuff.
Okay.
So
Like
you have to
what?
say, is it bonded and true, or bunk and, not something that has a real federal definition? It can mean whatever you want as a marketer.
It's just like a made up word?
It's an unsubstantiated claim.
Okay.
So the first one
Okay.
is small batch. Is that bonded or bunk?
I think it's bunk.
That's true. There is
Yeah.
zero definition. So it could
Yeah.
be 12 bottles or 300. Like, nobody
Small
knows.
is relative. Okay.
Nobody knows. And this is on all of these labels. Small
Oh,
batch.
that's
It sounds
funny.
great, right? It's an
Yes.
awesome marketing claim. No definition. No one knows.
Okay, cool.
All right, this is an easy one.
No, shush. I might get it wrong.
Bottled and bond.
Bottled and bond is true.
Yeah, bonded.
Yeah. Okay, I was
We
like,
have,
it's true.
it's the most rigorously defined term in American whiskey. That's the only thing that has these, like, very strict champagne-like restrictions to it. Like, not only must you hit the basic category things, you must also do this.
Okay.
So bottled and bond is the most rigorously defined one.
Okay.
Handcrafted.
Bunk.
Totally bunked.
Totally made up.
No federal
Like,
rules.
what does that
like,
mean? Yeah.
You can just put that on your label.
Cool.
Straight.
Straight. Bond?
Bonded.
Yes, okay.
So straight is real, but it's like kind of with an asterisk. It only guarantees 2 years. Straight whiskey must be aged for 2 years.
Oh, it's in regards to aging?
Yep.
Oh, I would think like more it's straight, meaning it's not mixed with things.
You would think that as well.
Okay, great.
But that means it's an
But
aging
you would
statement.
be wrong.
Sour mash.
Bunked.
Half bunked, half bonded. This was
Like-
kind of a, yes. So sour mash is a process. It's like a sourdough where you take some of the
Oh,
distillate
okay.
from the previous batch and use that for it to keep it going.
Oh, okay.
So it's a real process, but the federal government doesn't regulate if you can put it on the label or not. So people say this, and like, you just have to kind of trust me, bro.
That's insane.
Aged in oak.
I think that's bonded.
Yeah, so because this would be like me saying my ground beef is made from cows.
Because all of it is aged in some kind of oak.
If it's bourbon,
Okay.
it's already aged in oak. Like, that is one of the category things. So these people put like aged in oak. Like
Like that's
well,
special.
Duh.
Okay, this is fascinating.
My ground beef is made from 100% cows. Well, no.
Well, I mean, some might not be.
Single barrel.
I want to say bonded?
It is not at all regulated by the government.
So it could. Really?
People could be lying.
Isn't single barrel like one of the things that people chase about?
Yes,
Like,
so it was really invented in 1984 as a way to start like premiumizing the category.
oh, rude.
But there's no government definition for it. I mean, like, you could get sued from a consumer protection angle for,
okay.
lying about it, but the government ain't
But
inspecting
only
that.
if
It's not a
someone-
legally defined term.
Okay, that one got me. Wow.
Kentucky straight bourbon.
Bunked? Stop.
Bonded. It has
Come
to be
on.
distilled and aged in Kentucky. Kentucky does say, if you're going to say Kentucky straight bourbon, you can't buy it from someplace and then age it in Kentucky, which is a very common practice.
This is crazy. Like, there's a rule for that, but not single barrel.
Because Kentucky is very proud of it. Produced by brand/town.
I don't know. I'd like to say it's bonded, which makes me think it's bunked.
It's bunk. They didn't distill it. If it says produced by, they bought it from somebody and then aged it. Or maybe they didn't even age it. Maybe they just bottled it and sent it out.
I was doing so well, but now this stuff is unhinged.
We got one last
Okay,
one.
let's do it.
So, distilled by.
Well, I'm stressed. Bonded.
That is correct.
Yay.
That is
Based
correct.
on
If
my
it
last
says
question.
distilled by, it has to be distilled by those people.
Wow, how thoughtful of
But
them to be
otherwise,
so honest.
it's very common. There's this place called MGP that's in Indiana that makes just a huge amount of whiskey, bourbon, rye, single malt, all sorts of things. People buy it, repackage it, sell it as their own.
That is so crazy. Do other spirits do this?
Rum, yes. Brandy, yes.
Not my clear liquors.
Vodka, yes.
Just not gin then?
Gin,
Yes.
bruh.
Okay, so yes then? Cool. It's all marketing.
So, marketing. I have one fun marketing story before we get to the taste off that you're going to have to combine all of your knowledge that you've gained
I didn't.
to make
I don't know
some
if I gained anything.
Good guesses.
Besides that, all of this is a hoax.
Margie Mattingly Samuels. Have you heard of her?
No.
She was born in Bardstown, Kentucky in 1916.
Okay.
She and her husband, Bill, founded Maker's Mark in 1953. Maybe you've heard of Maker's Mark.
I sure have.
Bill handled what went into the bottle, and Margie did everything else.
Okay.
And it's kind of much of what you picture, especially when you think of Maker's Mark.
Okay.
So she picked the name Maker's Mark, and the name came from her habit of collecting English pewter, where a Maker's Mark was a stamp of handmade quality. So she said we should have a Maker's Mark for showing its quality.
Great.
The bottle, the label with the torn edges, all the lettering, she picked that. You know, the logo was a star for Star Hill where they did it.
Oh.
As for Samuels, their name because Bill was a fourth generation distiller, and the red wax dip, that is probably the most distinctive one, she developed at home. And she was working on this. Her son came home from high school one day and found all of his stuff out on the lawn because his mom had thrown out his photo lab to set up a wax test kitchen in the basement. See ya, son. We're working on our whiskey.
Seems like it worked out.
And the first bottle they had with the finished look came out in 1958. They're still dipping by hand. If you go and do that tour, you can make your own hand-dipped bottle.
That's cool.
She, in 2014, was the first woman that was directly involved with the distillery to be inducted into the Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Fame. There were some other contributors that were added, but she was the first one to actually be at a distillery. She invented bourbon tourism, so like the Kentucky Bourbon Trail that people like to do, and she's pretty awesome.
Is she still around?
She has passed away, but the line from the distillery is, Margie is the reason people buy their first bottle, and Bill's the reason they buy the second.
Oh, good job.
So I like that. I thought you'd appreciate,
cool.
Again, like great marketing.
Yeah, I pulled up a picture of the bottle because I obviously remember the red wax, but I didn't know about the star and the S and the 4. I never paid attention to that on the label. It's great. Good job.
So, our final challenge, we've talked about some of these claims.
Yeah.
I have 4 bourbons here.
I have been looking at them the whole time.
And you're going to have to pick which one is which from the claims and such.
Oh, good. Okay. I don't have to taste them? Or I have to taste them?
You have to taste them.
Oh, no.
And you're going to tell me.
No, I don't want to do that.
Which one?
Actually, sorry. 2 of those aren't open. Let's leave them unopened. Wait, what? How am I supposed to do that?
I'll read you these labels.
Oof.
And you pick.
So am I not supposed to be watching you pour these?
I'll figure it out.
I'll just... I mean, I'm not going to drink. I can barely drink this cocktail.
Yeah, I know. You can smell.
Spit it in here.
Yes. You'll be able to smell it. You'll be fine.
I tried to drink this
Just
again.
smell it.
It's just such a distinct flavor.
I get that.
I can't describe what it is to me. This is so wrong, but I'm going to try and explain.
This one might not get...
Yeah, don't. That one looks way too nice for me to drink.
It's not.
It's not cool. It's got a nice leather band around its neck.
Here we go.
I'll kindly help you open it. How does that sound? Oh, is this... I know where this is from. Right? 4 Roses?
Yeah.
Is that what's served at that little old horse race?
Yes.
Okay, there you go.
Thanks.
I've always wanted to like whiskey.
So you can really just sniff these and tell me what you think.
I'll try. Maybe I'll like one of them. No, I won't. How would you say most people enjoy whiskey? On the rocks?
Puking the next day? No.
Yeah. Sounds accurate.
Yes. Most people kind of on the rocks.
Yeah.
And some people...
Oh.
Not so much.
That one looks dark.
All right.
Okay.
So I have these 4 bottles here. We're going to 1, 2.
Okay.
3, 4.
Great. One of them looks, 2 are much darker than the other 2, I will say.
All right, so the first bottle I'm going to tell you about is this 4 Roses. It is a limited edition, which we know means nothing. It is a small batch, which we know means nothing.
Cool.
It is a 2025 release, which means it was released in 25, and that's it. And it's barrel strength, so 54.5%. So this is going to be a very small batch, high alcohol one.
Well, or it could not be a small batch. Who knows?
The next one is Evan Williams, aged 12 years, 101 proof. And this one, look at all that Japanese writing on it.
Yeah, I was noticing that, actually.
This bottle, thanks to our friend Moose, came back from Japan because
cool.
the bourbon people, in their marketing quest, when it wasn't doing so hot in America, opened up new markets in Japan and made bourbons that were exclusive for Japan that they like more Scotch type of things.
Okay.
So this would be a more Scotchy type of flavor.
Oh, God.
Then we have, right here from Wisconsin, Wallersheim Distillery, Wisconsin Straight Bourbon Whiskey. So it has to be from Wisconsin and aged 2 years. Beyond that, who knows? Single barrel. I do know this is from a single barrel because it is hand selected by Lake Geneva Country Meats. And then our last one comes to us from 45th Parallel. It is their Border Bourbon, which is a straight bourbon whiskey finished with Amberana wood.
Wait, do you know which one's which here?
I do.
Okay. I feel like I can make a guess without any more information.
So Amberana wood, you can't put your bourbon into a second barrel. That makes it just American whiskey. But you can add other woods into that barrel. And this one had some Amberana, which is a Brazilian wood that has like cinnamony notes to it.
What? Would this so will it taste cinnamony?
It will taste, smell cinnamony.
Oh, shoot.
So.
Oh my God. Oh, I just want to hurl.
The first
smelling
one
these.
to guess is, I think the Evan Williams is probably the easiest one. One that is distinctly different from the other ones because it was made for the Japanese market. It's one of these two darker ones. I know that. It has a little bit more kind of lighter body.
Yep.
Aged a little bit more because that's what the Japanese like. So it's a little less of the oak flavor and a little bit more kind of just light golden spirit.
This one. Damn it. Really?
Really?
Come on. I mean, I didn't taste it, to be fair, so I guess I should have. Well, I don't want to, though.
Number 3.
Yeah, it just burns. Oh, my God. Just, like, literally burns my mouth. Oh, God. Okay. I don't know if I can continue on. Okay, this one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Next, from Wisconsin, because you can make bourbon in any state in America. The Wallersheim Wisconsin Straight Bourbon. This one is 60.9 or 121.8 proof, aged 7 years.
Okay.
So this one should have some real nice kind of smooth flavors.
Can't think it's this one.
Incorrect.
God
it
dang
is
it.
number 2.
No way.
Yes.
Well, that wasn't even on my radar.
It is number 2.
Oh, I cannot
So now
taste
you
these.
have a 1 and 2.
Whoa, I don't know anymore. I was convinced I had it all figured out.
4 Roses, the Kentucky exemplar, small batch. We know that means nothing. One of these has a little bit more cinnamon note, and one of these has a little bit more caramel toasted note from the Amberana wood that is added to the 45th Parallel.
One of them one of them makes me not want to gag, and the other one doesn't. So tell me, I needed a comparison.
The cinnamon note is a little sweet and probably makes you not want to gag because it's got like a cinnamon toast type of thing. Yes.
Okay.
That you are correct.
Yes.
So the last one, number 4, that's the 45th Parallel with the Amberana wood. And number 1 is the 4 Roses. Congratulations, Bridget.
Oh my God, I want to die. It smells so bad.
You are half good at bourbon.
Ooh.
You took what you've learned today.
I clearly had no idea that because none of it means anything.
None of it means anything. You learned all of this. You knew what small batch means. You couldn't tell.
Yeah. No, I have no idea. They all, but they do all burn.
They do all burn.
Yes.
I will say none of these is below 90 proof. 80 proof is the lowest you could do. I thought about getting like a worse one and perhaps doing that. But
I tried truly to just be an adult and touch my lips to this, but you saw my reaction. Please watch this one on YouTube. Or please don't.
And that's what we have to say about bourbon.
It's great.
Did you enjoy this?
Sure.
Not really, but
you know what? You
You
could have made it way worse, so appreciate that.
could have just done like a story of bourbon through 13 bottles.
The blueberry lemonade situation would be very good with vodka. Also great with whiskey, bourbon for other people.
Do you know what else bourbon's great for doing?
Burning things?
Soaking cheese in.
Oh, Ron.
Shout out to Ron.
Oh, we did it right at the end, Ron.
Actually, we generally use rye whiskey for soaking cheese in. It kind of commutes flavors better than bourbon, but we tried both.
I don't have anything else
and
to
by
offer.
we, I mean Ron.
Yeah, I was like, did you? I didn't, and also I don't eat that cheese.
I think we once drank a bunch of whiskey and decided this one would be better for cheese aging.
Oh, good research.
And it worked out just like this.
Just like this. This is great. Thanks for listening.
This is America. Marketing is king. Bourbon is your beverage of choice because, first of all, it's American, not British. Second
why.
of all, marketing.
Again, marketing.
And
Thanks
good,
so much.
healthy dose of religion.
Don't cancel us.
You can like this or not because, you're mad at me for making a joke about how intertwined religion is with American daily life.
Or because you didn't like my gagging sounds as I tried whiskey.
You can subscribe. You can hit that bell. Bing, 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 bing.
Thanks for being here.
And get your notifications that we're back with another fun episode.
It was fun. Thanks.
Talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.